Yo, what's up, fam? And it's your boy Jay Tuck, man. So I just wanted to talk to y'all a minute because y'all know I'm a very honest and transparent person, and I feel like we family, man. That's the thing I love the most about this community, that we're family, so we can talk and have these discussions, man. Just be fully transparent and be fully honest. So, first, I want to kind of set off with a story, kind of walk y'all through a story. I know I like to kind of tell little stories, right? But let's go back to eighth grade, Jay Tuck, little middle schooler, right? I got this thing in my head that I wanted to run for class president. Now, why did I want to run for class president? Wasn't no in particular reason. It's just because I can, and I knew that more than likely I would win. And I remember my opponent, Sylvia. I still follow her on Facebook. She's my girl Sylvia, right? She was a straight A student, never missed a day of school, never got in any trouble, right? And Sylvia's whole campaign was about changing the culture of our middle school, right? She wanted to change, some of the curriculum in the school learning process. She wanted more computers in our library because she felt like technology was the future, right? She also talked about her struggles of doing homework at home because she came from a large family and she was responsible for her siblings, so she couldn't focus on school. So she wanted a better after school program that was structured for learning. That was her entire campaign, right? Now, my campaign, Jay Tuck, what did I want? I wanted a new vending machine upstairs, right? Because you had to walk all the way downstairs, 3 floors to get candy. I wanted one upstairs. I also wanted new uniforms for the basketball team, the girls and the boys basketball team, right? I wanted an 8th grade trip to Worlds of Fun. I wanted to come to Kansas City and go to Worlds of Fun as an 8th grader. And I also wanted more snacks in our a la carte. That's what I really wanted, right? Let me ask you, fam, who do you think won that election by a landslide? The person who really wanted impact and really wanted change, or the person who just stood in front of the podium and told the people whatever they wanted to hear? Me, I won easily. I smoked Sylvia's boots. Now, funny part, I didn't actually get to become president because the day I was supposed to give my inauguration speech, I got into a fight. At lunch, got suspended. So she ultimately got it, but I won the election. But that is what it is. That's not where the story's going, right? So Tuck, where are you going with this? I felt the same feeling that I had back as an 8th grader yesterday when the schedule dropped. I didn't drop a video on it, to be honest with you, because I was at the point where even if I was to dissect every weekly opponent, pros, cons, film, whatever, you guys did not want to hear that. All you guys wanted to hear is 12 plus, 12 to 13. Now, if I said 17-0, y'all, that's going to be too much, right? Y'all wanted something to be comfortable so you can easily digest, right? 11 wins, 12 wins, 13 wins, right there in that little comfortable sweet spot. If I said 9, all hell would have broke loose in my comments. And so what is happening right now, y'all, is that the thing that has always been my superpower of me being a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan / season ticket holder that's out there every game, that's amongst the fan base. Plus, you can also dissect and break this team down to the best of a lot of people, right? That's your superpower, right? You can really digest and analyze and report on this team, has always been my superpower. But now it's like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Venom. It's time that they must separate and become their own entity. They can no longer coexist. So case in point, you guys see me cover the Super Bowl. You guys see me cover the NFL draft. You guys see me cover boxing. You guys see me cover all sorts of things, soccer, you name it, right? I've done that. Jay Tuck, the Cowboys fan, the Cowboy Rita Cowboys fan, waving towel fan, did not get me to that point. I knew in order to get to that level, I had to become surgical with my analysis, and I couldn't become compromised. So I had to work. I had to really roll up my sleeves and really call the game from an analytical view. Right? That's how I got to that success, right? It wasn't because I was just a Cowboys fan that people put me on, right? So case in point, when my guy Darren Smith gave me my first, because the first thing with the radio was all kind of a trial and error, like let's just see what works, right? So the very first time I was on the radio, right, kind of sit back, kind of learned the landscaping. Well, we had an interview with J.C. Pearson, who played for Washington. He's also part of the Chiefs organization, right? The Washington Huskies football team, right? When he was talking, we were talking about the NFL draft. And without any warning or anything, Darren said, hey, you want to ask a question? And right there, I started talking to JC, who played for the Washington Huskies and was in charge of the Chiefs, about Trent McDuffie. And I was breaking down Trent McDuffie to a science, and he was like, oh yeah, I love Trent McDuffie. And, you know, I'm doing my whole draft thing. And Darren was like, where's your notes? Where'd you get that from? Where'd you? It was because of the work that I put in that he was like, yo, we need you at the NFL draft in Vegas for the station. And everything's been up since then, right? So when I was at the Super Bowl, and I feel like this is something different than a lot of content creators, you know, because they haven't really gotten this experience. But when I was at the Super Bowl, especially this last year in Vegas, I was inside the circle. There was Stephen A. Smith. There was Pat McAfee, Kay Adams, like all the big names you can think of, right? Right there in arm's reach of me. And at first, it was a little intimidating, but something hit me. This is no knock to any of them. They're all incredible. Tuck, they're not that much different than you. There's nothing they're doing that's more special than you. The only difference that they have that you don't have is their brands are just bigger. But football-wise, you can go toe-to-toe with anybody, right? So then it started to circulate in my mind, how do we get to this next level, to the point where the Super Bowl MVP, Pat Mahomes, final question, look it up, was answered by me. He was talking to me. That's his final question. Super Bowl MVP. I was able to get to that level. So in order to continue to climb, I can't be compromised fanboy, we them boys, J Tuck. I will not be respected in those rooms. I will be looked down upon as just a fanboy, and rightfully so, right? But here's the other divide. There are thousands and thousands, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, of Cowboys fans who rely on me, right? I walk around AT&T Stadium. There's love. There's people asking for autographs. There's people wanting photos. There's people wanting me to meet their children and sign their hats. And, you know, you see me with Des Bryant, with players. Like, I mean so much to Cowboys Nation, right? So there's an additional side. So I don't want to cut off this side, because this side, the analyst J Tuck, he's the scariest one. J Tuck, the analyst, that's the one people really, really fear, right? They don't fear the cowboy hat wearing guy, right? They fear the analyst, because he's able to get into places. He's able to have different conversations. He's able to blend in, get the look, get the inner. He's able to get close. This guy is not, but this guy is one in sync with the people, and the people mean so much to me, right? Case in point, I have tons of sponsorships and different people reaching out. It's overwhelming, but I never want to sell you guys a bad product. But what happens is, let's just keep it a buck. We know the Joneses, they wasn't aggressive. They wasn't all in. We know the draft was a B+, if you're being okay. That's fair, right? You know they're kind of going in with these one-year deals. You know that they're kind of, you know, they're not all in, but they're not fully sold. This could be possibly a slight rebuild. We know this. Just by picking up the ears, they haven't signed Mike McCarthy to an extension. Zimmer's on a one-year deal, right? We know these things. But if I come out here and say, oh, I think the Cowboys can still win a championship this year. We're a championship contender this year. All I am really doing is doing the Joneses' dirty work. This is a billion-dollar organization. They have to sell the fans. Don't use J Tuck. Don't use the content creators. And that's what was going to happen yesterday. They were going to use me to get all y'all excited, yippee-ki-yay, to buy back in. I feel like the Cowboys organization, that's their job to do, right? So what is about to happen is J Tuck, yippee-ki-yay, Cowboy Rita Cowboys fan, will remain here on CFO Sports doing just Cowboys content, doing the stuff that y'all like to hear, right? You know, we'll talk about Micah's podcast and all that stuff, right? And J Tuck, the analyst, the surgical, the draft wizard, that guy, he is moving out and building his own channel, his own platform starting next week. Because these two can no longer coexist. I tried, it doesn't work. And it's an internal battle every day versus truth, analysis, context versus being a fan. It's time for them to go their own separate ways. So we'll be launching a brand new channel where we're going to be talking not just Cowboys football, all football. We're going to be talking college football, NBA, boxing. Like, we're going surgical. So if you love my film breakdowns, the film breakdowns will no longer be over here. Gonna be over there, right? Chiefs fans, film. Bills fans, film. Eagles fans, film. Cleveland Browns fans, draft. It's all going over there. And right here, what will live is J Tuck, Cowboys fan, going to continue business as usual. Yippee-ki-yay, Cowboy Readers, We Them Boys, all that fun stuff. And they'll go our separate ways. And maybe both will meet each other at the top, man. It's your boy J Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at JTuck151. New YouTube channel. Don't got a name for it. I think I know where I want to name it, but stay tuned. I'll probably have that by Sunday, but it just is what it is at this point. It's no longer time for me to fight this battle. It's time for me to go get everything that I deserve in this industry. And I feel like there's certain things that's holding me back, but no longer. Think about this, right? Dane Brugler, he started with the Cowboys, kinda. He branched off NFL, right? Emmanuel Acho, he was with the Cowboys, branched off NFL. It's time for me to branch off, because there's no way y'all can sit here and convince me that all these people up here are better than me, are better than Law, and better than Scott, and better than Vach, and better than Rome, and better than... We belong in those same rooms, and it's time for me to go get into that room, kick the door down, and bring all my people with me. So I'll see y'all at the top. Peace.